getting out of the garage. Come join me on a little test drive here and shake down the broken unicorn. First, before we do that though, I just want to do a quick recap of what I did to this thing. So in the other videos in the series, which I recommend you go and check out, I did the struts, I did all new hardware on the struts, I did sway bar end links, I did a new axle, wheel bearing, brake fluid flush, and I generally just went over the front end of this thing to make sure that it's gonna operate the way that it should, because there was definitely some issues with it, and I think I sorted all those out, but we're gonna go do a little shakedown run here and make sure it's good to go. Before we get out of the garage though, I do want to mention this is the first time that I've ever attempted to do some type of filming on the vehicle, like with me driving it. If it hasn't been blatantly obvious, this is the very first video series I've ever done. This is like the 7th video I've ever created, so there's going to be some issues, but kind of bear with me and hopefully it's not too bad. Just as a reference point here, what I'm going to do is I have a little cheap GoPro, off-brand GoPro I strapped to the front. And then this camera is actually going to be attached to the sunroof through adhesive, removable adhesive. And hopefully that gives some good vantage points to capture some good footage here, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so first things first here, I put the fuse for the all-wheel drive back in because I want to see if that front axle that was blown was the cause of that stuttering. If it is, whoop, fixed it. That would be awesome. Next thing, you can kind of hear there's some misfire happening with the engine. It probably can't hear as much. You can definitely feel it. It's just not, the idle's not smooth and you can hear it miss every once in a while. I want to see if that's occurring through the acceleration band, not just at idle, because that'll be a different issue. I think I got the solution for the idle issue, but if it's occurring anywhere else in the RPM range, that's a problem. So I got this camera right behind me here. Oh. Yeah, that idle's not good. I got this camera right here, and I got a camera on the front. I don't know how it's gonna look. Never done this before, but let's see what happens. We're gonna just take a quiet cruise around my neighborhood to make sure I put all the components back correctly, how they're supposed to be. Make sure nothing's gonna fly off when we go. And then we're just gonna cruise through some nice farmland, just make sure everything's all right, and I'll get on the throttle a little bit to see what's going on with the engine. Let's hit it. So some of the issues that this thing had when I got it, it was making a pretty bad clunk noise when I would turn the steering wheel, which I think is attributed to that strut. And obviously that stuttering, that misfire that his previous owner called it, that was an issue. It was making a lot of noise. It felt really bad on the road, probably due to the struts. So far so good though. Hi lady. Just cruising through the neighborhood. Feels smooth so far. Not getting any of that the clunking on the turning, so that's good. It's a good sign. Front end definitely feels softer. Definitely absorbed that bump way better than it would have. Well, I didn't feel any major issues, so I think we're ready to go on the street. Get this thing warmed up, see what it feels like. Probably like a giant luxury barge, more than likely. Let's get out of all this traffic. Come through, buddy. Big station wagon. So far, none of that stuttering on acceleration, none whatsoever. All that misfire stuff the guy was talking about and the stuttering that I noticed, gone. No check engine light, no all-wheel drive malfunctions, no weird noises. Yeah, I think that that fixed it. I think that fixed my all-wheel drive, which is a huge thing with this car. That was like one of the reasons why I got it so cheap, is because the guy thought that the high-pressure fuel pump was failing or some other expensive component. Turns out it was an axle, which he happened to already have, and he gave it to me. feel this car. It just screams luxury, you know, like everything about it. I got heated seats, heated steering wheel. I mean, the seats they're the most comfortable seats I have ever sat in. They're just fantastic. Got all the modern equipment that you could want out of a luxury vehicle. Auto everything, auto lights, auto dimming mirrors, auto sensing windshield wipers. Even the tailgate goes up by itself. I mean, you know, once I fix it. I mean, just the smell in here. Even though it's like old and probably a smoker's car, because this thing has the smoker's package, which is kind of crazy that you can still get a smoker's package in 2010. What's kind of cool is it not only do I have the all the ashtrays up front here, I got ashtrays in the back for this thing, you know, for your, you know, the back passengers in case they want to smoke. It's polite. It feels good. That feels really good. She's not 100% fixed, but oh man, she feels a lot better than she did. E46. It's a big, heavy car, like 4,900 pounds. So I don't expect it to exactly be a demon on the track. Oh no, I'm losing the camera. And I don't want to, you know, get real crazy on the public roads here, but see that out of the corner. This thing can definitely get out of its own way. Hey, buddy, going a little fast in that van. Oh yeah. Brakes. Handles far better than it has any right to. Here we go, here we go. Down a little dip here. The throttle. Oh yeah. Absorb that transition nicely. There we go, up to 35 miles an hour. I love this engine. Just love it. It's so smooth, revs so easily, has plenty of power and torque, and the delivery is just it's so smooth. So such a good curve. And chilling in traffic. Take a look at the camera. You still filming? You are. Yeah, there's a 6-speed. There's my little CIC. My auto climate control. Dual zone auto climate control. Got heated seats down there. Got my little dial here for the CIC. I can control everything. I mean, this has all the luxury amenities that you want in a car. But we are going to get around this truck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love an N54. And the other thing that I noted is there's that slight whine and there's like a thump coming from the front end every once in a while. I think it's sway bar, and then I'm going to take a look at differential and maybe wheel bearing. So there you go. That concludes my half-assed, half-camera touring car experience. remember when they did those Volvo 850 GLT touring cars? Those are just cool. Volvo was just having fun back then. Alright, I think she is ready to have the engine worked on, and then I'll get back to the suspension. Suspension's at least gonna pass inspection. That's the important part. Let me get the engine done, and I will take this thing, get it inspected, and then we can do like a nice little travel out to some better roads here. Get some really good, nice twisties going. Can somebody please tell me why the Amazon delivery vehicles will never pull into someone's driveway and they always just sit on the street? Like, do they got some type of policy that says do not pull into people's driveway, or is it just like it costs them too much time per delivery to stop like that? Because it just, I don't know. I'm getting on a rant here.